Okay, it kind of looks like the wheel cylinder is new-ish. Not so much on this side, so it might just be that all this oil, as you can see, it's all over the tire, all over the inside of the drum, and this axle seal is very bad, and the brakes are contaminated. Wonderful. What a fucking pain in the balls. 7-inch wheels, 205 on there. I couldn't even, every time I was using the thing there to unbeat it, it was getting stuck on the other side. And then it got to the point, I'm like, I got to try to take it off, and fucking ripped up the thing. It's still not really right. Oh, this is going to hurt my hand. Oh my God. I don't believe this shit. It's like off and it still won't come out. Fucking mind-boggling. It's getting stuck on the fucking machine. Unreal. Maybe I'll get a 1/4 inch at a time. I got to take off that wheel weight. Apparently it makes a difference. Usually it would just fly off, but... Oh, man. I don't wish this on anybody, I tell you. Tires is not a great business. Well, it used to be. Now all these new cars, I bet you everything comes off easy for the most part, if you have the right thing. But it's like, my God, this is crazy. Finally, woohoo! Oh my God. So I went to go put everything back on, just at least for now, and I see this. So I have a feeling that somebody was cutting with a, you know, like trying to get the lug nuts off, although it's not really close to the lug nuts. So I don't know what they were doing. I don't know if they were cutting off the rim first, but it actually went through. So could the drum be okay still? I mean, I guess anything's possible. I just don't think you have any friction on this because of all the gear lube leaking everywhere. So it sucks. The other thing is these rims are like, the hole here is, there's a hole in the center is supposed to be equal to the hole there, and it's not. You can see there's another ring there, a dirt ring. But ultimately that's that. But that's how your tires look. All right. I don't know why that's like that. I don't know if that's to try to adjust it with some kind of tool. The brakes, maybe. Because it's on this side as well. That being said, can't get the tire on the other side. So I jacked up the other side. Still can't get it on. So I'm going to try to put it on this side just to see. Brakes look relatively new. There is a little bit of leak here. It does look like a new wheel cylinder. However, the other side does not look like they changed the brakes. How the hell does somebody do one side of brakes? Okay. So basically the way this thing came off, being up and under, but it had to be high enough, and it's high enough because it's a smaller tire. And this is the problem with putting it's 7 inches wide, these rims. That's pretty wide. The original ones were probably 5.5 or 6. And I need 2 hands, but let me see. Oh, see, I got it on this side. So I don't know if I just didn't get that side up high enough. But a lot of times, these cars, you know, the rear end is imperfectly in the center sometimes, and it's just the way it is, you know. But other than that, I probably have to loosen the shock to get it to come down a little more. So I'll see. Oh boy, always something. So I'm talking about, that's a big rim, very big. Took the executive position of executive decision. Sorry, I'm out of breath. To use a piece of wood and just bang that up a hair all this was already coming off. So I was like a little tiny bend up, and I was just able to squeeze it in there, so without lowering the shocks or anything. So at least they can get on, you know, because that would have been a drag. Because having to remove the shock to get it on or something like that it's quite a pain. So, all right, at least that's one problem averted. Make a point. So these are the I think these are called the Vertucci. I forgot. Or is it the other one? Oh, these are the Vercellis. Okay, I can't remember, but these have a wider white wall, just slightly, but it's nice. It's like at least an inch. But when you feel the sidewall here, the sidewall is so much stiffer. And then when you look at this freaking thing, these hang hooks for the rear, the fronts are Goodyears. They came right off, but they were small tires too. But I know these are like flopping in the wind. You know, these are really not that great. Now that being said, it still works. You know, it's just that the air pressure is holding it. But it was so tight on this. You know, it sticks to the chrome, and then it's just so wide. It stretched the shit out of the tire. And the wide part, you see, when you try to take a tire off, when you break the bead, you get it inside this area, which is a smaller diameter. I was pushing it from one side, getting in the diameter here, and then the back side, it wouldn't go, and then we get the front side stuck. So the back side, you could tell, is a much wider thing. It's like, how the hell do you get it off? They should have made this better. But in any case, these go right on, because, you know, and they also fill up with air without actually, it wasn't that much trouble. I thought I was going to have to break out the gun here, you know, the air rocket gun to fill the bead, but it actually, that's the good thing about having this so wide, is that chances are you'll get just enough to seal as you're holding it as steady as possible. So when you hold it as steady as possible, you have the air rushing in, and you just kind of keep playing with it, and it just fills with air. So that's probably the better thing about this tire, but about this rim. But the tire itself on that rim, such a small tire on such a wide rim, it stressed the shit out of it, you know. So it's just a lot of headache. Makes you wonder why would I have it on my own thing, but it costs a fortune when you have a lot of cars, you know. But so I do it for my friends, you know. But oh my god, a lot of work today. 4 tires is a lot of work. It doesn't sound like it is, but in a cramped space with everything going on, you know, just it's tough. It's a tough buck. Pretty sweet with those tires. Running nice and low now. This carburetor is not really right, but also for some reason I can never get this distributor right. Even though I think I said it right, it's still off, so I got to keep playing with it. Probably I thought it was more off than it was, so that's why I try to overcompensate, but the vacuum leak completely straightened out a lot of things, but it's way too retarded still right now. I got an antifreeze leak. I got to be careful here. What the hell happened? Oh, I got a hole in the hose? heater valve is no good? Oh, this clamp might be funny. It's smoking over here too. That might just be the exhaust heating up for the first time for the most part. I mean, it's run, but something's leaking right on it almost. That looks like antifreeze, unless it's sprayed from the front. I'm not sure where the fuck it came from. Maybe it's sprayed from back here, I don't know. Is that oil? Fucking Chinese clamps from Amazon. It almost seems like it's leaking from the thing itself, though. Oh hell yeah, that's fucked up. I can't get a break, I tell you, no matter what I do. But starter sounds very good. And this is why I guess it's better to use a rebuilt starter, a factory type starter. So that sounds quite normal and fast, like it should be. Like I said, it's not running perfect, but we already know that there was a problem with the engine, with the rust in it, so it may not, you know, at idle, it may not really complete the compression. It may take time for the rings to actually re-break in, but not quite sure why it's smoking in the back here, unless it's, like I said, this stuff ended up spraying back here. Oh, look at this. Oh, the fucking valve cover gasket squeezed out. I had took off this valve cover to do this, because you can't unscrew this or put it in when this is here. Oh, that's wonderful. Never noticed it. Never had it running long enough. All right. And I reused these gaskets too, so I don't know if they're fucked up now, especially this one, but usually they're pretty durable. That's why I reused it at the time. I was trying to save money, but I'm shocked that this is fucking leaking. Alrighty. So, like I said, I don't have the high idle cam, but I made it go on, let it warm up a bit. I got the new heater valve in. Sounds good at idle. When I rev it, I hear a little breakup. So I'm thinking that the rocker arms, which are not always a perfect science to do them on the car, these are individually adjusted. It's not like your Ford, or not like a Ford. You got to adjust these. So letting the engine warm up. This valve cover is already loose because it had to come off because of that. So now that I changed that, I'm going to go and adjust this side, and then I'll do the other side and see how it goes. The thing I want to make clear is that I'm going to adjust it while it's running. It's had more definite, but it's running very well right now, I think. And like I said, all that rust in that cylinder back there, it's got to run a little bit. The rings have probably got shit in them, and it's going to take some clean burning to really clear it out. It also could be just fine. It's just the carburetor is not perfect, but it's running pretty good now. And exhaust sounds quiet, but it's not welded here. It's not buttoned up. I wanted to put one clamp and then 2 welds. Haven't got to that yet. So it's a little stinky, the exhaust, but it's really the best I can adjust this carburetor. But it's has a lot of potential right now. One other thing I wanted to point out, do I have this doohickey hook? Oh no, I don't have the doohickey hook. Oh wait, do I? yeah, I don't have the doohickey hooked up for the gas gauge, and out of nowhere the gas gauge started working again. So this actually might be pretty good. That what happens is when it goes on E, you know you have 5 gallons, but then if you keep running it, it'll kind of go back up. And actually some cars do that. They go all the way to E, and then you keep driving, it actually bumps up a little bit, and then it goes back down again. So I'm curious to see. But that's actually pretty cool. It's like having a low fuel light almost. All right, so we've got a rag under there, because we just hope that the oil pressure isn't so great that it just like shoots out over the fenders. Sometimes it'll do that. They used to have these little clips that you put over it, so it didn't do that. You know, sometimes just like we used to put a piece of cardboard on the top, and it was, no matter what, it was a mess. So I'll see how well this goes. Basically, we're going to do one at a time. Okay, I don't know why that crank's slow right there, other than the timing maybe. So basically, while these are running, oh wow. Okay, so that's shut up. Quarter turn. You hear the engine stumble a little bit. I think I'm just going to do a quarter turn because that's all I used to do. That one was a little more on point, I think. That's shut up. Quarter turn. All right, I'm going to do the rest with the camera off because I gotta use 2 hands sometimes. So, I really know Chevy. I know it pretty darn well. However, I started off for years with Oldsmobiles, and I don't know why I've done this, and I've done this before, where I fuck up the fucking firing order. And I don't like this fucking cover here, because you can't just swap the wires so easily. So, every time I look at this engine, I keep thinking it runs like it has like a wrong wires swapped around. But it runs like relatively well. And I remember distinctly one time, because I just worked on like not only my Oldsmobile, but a whole bunch of other people's Oldsmobiles. And I did a ton of tune-ups on those cars, and it's counterclockwise rotation, and I always fuck it up when I go back to a Chevy. And I don't say always, but I did it several times back then, and the car will run every time. If it wasn't for the fact that I saw the car run before, but a lot of times, you get a car and it has, it's a running condition, it doesn't run good, and you think, okay, the tune-up is bad. Oh, you have to start with the tune-up before you can do other things. So I do the tune-up, and the car runs worse. And I'm like, no, there's got to be something wrong here. And sure enough, I figure it out. That being said, I'm staring at these wires, and I'm like, 5.7, 5.7, 5.7. 5.7. No, I had 5.7 going this way. And it looks like clockwise when you look at one direction and not the other, especially with the stupid cover on. So now I just swapped them around because I realized it wasn't right. This guy just came off. But, and these wires are unfortunately not really the best length. They're a tad short for me, and it really fucked with my whole experience with this, and I guess it made it harder. That being said, so I got these right. This side is always right. It's always the other side. So if this is 1, this has to be 8. So 8, and then this is clockwise. It's 1, 8, 1, 8, 4. So 4, and then this would be number 2. Because I just reversed the 5 and 7, and I thought it still didn't run as well. So I started questioning everything. So I'm like, let me go through it all over again. So this outside wire on this thing is which wire on the top one here? Is it the outside one as well? No, the outside one is 8. And I have 8 going there. Okay, so that's correct. 184. So I thought 184. No, I got it right. Jesus Christ. 6, 5, 7, 2. 2, 2. No. My God. It's so easy to fuck this shit up. So that one should be 4. So the second one here is 4. This one 4, and it goes to 4. And this one should be 2. And it's this right here. This one, oh yeah, no, that's correct. So that's fucked up when you have the spark plug wires off and the car still don't improve. Then again, it could be a little foul that I got to give it more time to run. But I was under the impression that I had this wrong. Hold on a second here. 818. Is that right? Or is that 2? Okay. All right. Let me put Sal on the phone, showing all my flaws. But I might have had one set definitely off, but that back cylinder is a little funny, but I already adjusted the rockers. I only did a quarter to like maybe a third of a turn. And I guess I could say it runs a little better. So, but probably got to run, because those things were off the whole time. So it may take time to clean up a little bit. So hopefully it'll be all right. All right, this became a lot better because, what do you call it? I ran number 7 on the other side, because now that and then I reconfigured this, how this was, and so it's a lot smoother here. The only problem is the 1 and the 8, but it's not a huge deal. I probably have more room on number 8 than I think. I do. I should slide it up and try to reconfigure that as well. All right, so everything got moved. It doesn't look as pretty down here, but it's so much better up here. So I think that's the way I gotta go. So there's no so much, intersectionality, because then, I don't want to say that a spark was jumping or anything like that. I'm not giving that excuse, because this motor may not be the best, But I'm also thinking it has a performance camshaft, because it's so funny. Even though I was off a tooth in the beginning, and then I had two cylinders swapped, and again, I haven't run it enough to really see if it clears out the cylinder or not. But because in the beginning when I warmed it up, the back of the exhaust manifold wasn't hot, so it was funny. So I figured it wasn't firing, but it's got to be firing now that they're swapped. That will fire eventually, but ultimately, if the spark plug wires on top of each other, it could, cross kind of spark kind of thing, So hopefully, this is not really an issue, And that really helped improve it. These were not the best ones. They were longer. I had so much more room. It was a little hard to get this guy underneath the other guy. I had to make the number 2 longer here, because it actually does hit the firewall. It'd be better if it can go all the way that way and then come back around. So maybe there's another configuration to do, but I think for the most part this is going to be fine. Alrighty. So after the valve adjustment and then running it a little bit, it's definitely way smooth. For all that rust that was in that cylinder, it's pretty amazing. But I definitely don't like that cap. And the other thing I was going to say with the, I have a feeling that this performance cam is like I think it's a performance cam, because I know that the engine had headers on it, and they may have slapped these heads on it, and granted it was controlled by fuel injection on the last motor, so there's a little better chance of it, but it has a slight stumble to it, and this is not a bad stumble, this is like a performance stumble. Actually sounds really good now. So what happens is when you have a performance cam and not enough compression, but a certain center line, then you have a problem, okay? But if you also have a cam that has the wrong center line, like a 114 center line, but you have a little higher compression, that could be a problem, where the timing has to be just right. And that's what I find. I find like if I go a little bit, tiny bit retarded, it popped out the carburetor. If it went a little too advanced, it goes, it cranks slow. Like I don't really have much room for error, let's say. So it would have been good to like maybe advance or retard. I don't know. Honestly, I never got that far when it comes to performance, to advance or retard what do you call it, the timing chain, but you know, a better carburetor would be better, among other things. It sounds so much better now. It helps when you have the spark plug wires unright, and they're not kind of all tangled up. So this is a really big step. It's like finally it's actually running, but I can hear that it's like kind of performance. This car would really benefit from dual exhaust, but exhaust is rattling. But you just try to listen to the exhaust. They don't sound bad, but it's a 2-inch exhaust system front to back, so it's, you know, as it is with a wide pipe, it's, at least I had a 2 1/4 wide pipe. If you can at least get a 2 1/4 to 2 1/2 thing, at least exiting it helps, you know, with top end and stuff. So, but it was always a stumble, and now there's no stumble. It's very smooth. Wow, what a difference. So I'm pretty fucking happy now. So, and if I'm wrong, if it's fine with the timing, that it like I said, idle may even improve a little bit with the other carburetor whenever we get it back from Holly. Oh, that got it up higher. Before it, I guess it kind of deliberately leans out that cylinder. Okay. Okay. Sounds really good. Oh yeah. That little tiny bit of a carburetor adjustment really helped. I guess, you know, it is, if you have 2 spark plug wires off and you try to adjust the carburetor, and the timing for that matter, things might be wrong. Or never get right. The idle went up with that, so I want to bring the idle down a hair. Am I deaf? I was thinking that maybe I hear a little tick, but ultimately you get the most performance out of a camshaft when you have it like not so tightened down. But it's more like a mechanical sound. Nothing bad. But I hate to over tighten the rockers. But I might have, maybe one is not as good as the rest. That really helps. The smoke is because I got oil on it from adjusting it, so. This is like super duper smooth now. This is crazy. What a fucking difference. I'd have to say that's pretty awesome. I'm pretty happy. I keep saying that. All right, pretty good shape right now. I want to see if it comes on. That's another thing. I don't think so though, because it's just too cool out. I don't know. That might be from just me revving the engine. It actually pulls. That way you know, because I put the seal in here. It's a tight seal. That's why, in order for the fan to come on, it's got to be very fucking very hot out. Because I have the fan set to 185. The thermostat's at 1. Oh, look at this. I'm leaning on all these. They all fucking bent. That's wonderful. I guess it just. The fuse in the car is all it really needs. These are fuses that I had. Jesus. Oh, maybe it's because they don't really fit right? That sucks. Unless I fucking fucked them up. That would fucking suck even more. Bend that back maybe? I don't know. That sucks. Oh, these are loose. I can't believe just flexing them once. This is tight, but not anymore. Huh. Made in China, like everything else. Now this is sucky. I guess I'm going to wedge it there and see what happens. I don't know if they're both connected. It actually fits tighter by wedging it on the other side. Yeah, just by revving the engine, it pulls the electric fan, so it actually gives a little bit extra. That's why, like, the fan is there just in case. Like, it has to be a super hot day, and it's going to come on when the AC comes on. But even then, if the fan is doing enough to cool off this big condenser, it's not going to be an issue. This is all put in place, you know, just in case kind of thing, you know? So... feel heat come off it, and then I don't feel much because thermostat opens, the fan is so efficient. I hate that. I gotta cut that off. Little piece of electrical tape. I must say it's really running good now. I think the thermostat has opened a couple of times. I saw like a little extra smoke coming here. I mean, it's hot, but it's still like... And the cap has been off, so it'll be more regulated with the cap on, but like it's not even hitting 180 here. That's equaling out. It was a little higher than 14. You can see when I turn the steering wheel, put the load, it only drops a little bit. There, it dropped a little more. Oh, the oil pressure is fucking low. Huh. Because it goes up really high, but we had that funky problem with the oil pressure. But honestly, a lot of these, the Chevy doesn't need much more than 4 pounds. I think it's, but it's usually like, not 4 pounds, but, huh. I don't have the gas pedal hooked up to this carburetor because I don't have the linkage on. But it should be higher. But if you rev it and it goes to, that kind of sucks. I'm going to just turn the idle up like one full turn. Just to... That's one full turn. Yeah, it goes up to 25. It should be like 40 at 2,000 RPM, but you know, that whole thing with the main cap, and I had to do a lot to that, but it was a welded oil pump screen. I really hope there's nothing wrong with the oil pump, because you like to see it higher. When it's cold, it goes up pretty high. The problem is sometimes when they weld them on, it's a good thing, but if they get it too hot, they're going to end up ruining the spring in the oil pump. I should have considered changing it, because the bypass spring can just like kind of be loosey-goosey, you know? I also put a dual switch in here for the oil pressure. I put there, and you see the red wires going in the back. That turns on the choke, so that when you leave the key on, the choke doesn't stay open. It starts to close as soon as it starts to cool off. So I'm really hoping that, I mean, it's like 7 pounds. I mean, I knew guys used to have old Chevys. They used to rev the engine to like 4,000 RPM and have 7 pounds. But but it doesn't sound. There was plenty of oil up top, so I don't know if there's like a little bit of air in that system I did, and it's got to really run before it bleeds out the air. And don't know, but not a terribly big fan of that right now. But listen, if you had to change your oil pump, it wouldn't be terrible. I would opt for something different. I probably should have just changed the oil pump, but the problem is I like the idea that it was a welded-on thing, because I wasn't sure if I had to dent the pan up in order to get anything to fit. So I wanted the baseline of where it's supposed to be sitting in the pan to be right where it is. And I might still put a shim under the transmission, because I realized when I cut the wheel all the way to one side, it just grazes the pan. Like, it's never going to be an issue, but you might find a vibration when you go all the way over to one side. But it's all good stuff here, you know. But I'd hate for the oil pump to be bad or get bad, because I don't want anybody to blow the engine and have to stop right away if any problems happen. But it's holding. It's definitely running. You know, been running, so I don't see it being an issue. But it's a lot lower than I would like. Oh no! I just look at this. This heater core is no good. I'm getting smoke. Oh shit! The smoke is coming out of the vents. Ah, fuck, after all that. Oh, look at all the smoke in the car now. Motherfucker. I cannot win. This is all vapor from the fucking... Oh, boy. It looked good, too. It's like, I remember showing the owner of the car, when you open this guy up, it looked good, but maybe it's just rainwater, because it don't smell like antifreeze now that I think about it. Because, you know, a lot of these old cars, they leak water. They leak water in. So, I'm really hoping this burns off. It don't smell like antifreeze. It just smells like steam. That's pretty hilarious. So I got the blower on. And the thing is, all this shit is not... oh wait, I don't even have it on all the way hot. It's on defrost now. But the thing is, I don't have the other cable hooked up, so that's kind of a thing. But it's actually dissipating now, the heat. I don't know. And I put it on more hot. And like I said, it's on defrost. But the other cable is kind of in the neutral place. Like, one's supposed to pull, the other one doesn't. So I was still looking for the fucking thing that holds it on. But I think rainwater either got in there or still gets in there. And now that it's run, it's, you know, because I didn't have the hood closed all the way at times. But I got the heat on now. So... I'm not hearing it blow, really. Can I turn it off or not? Oh, yeah, it's blowing. It's not blowing very hot, I can tell you that much. I'm wondering, though, here's the other thing, is that I started thinking about the heater valve, that a Chevy heater valve may not work the way I'd like it to. It may be the other way, so I'm going to see now. I'm going to take that off. Oh, there's vacuum on this. Oh, that's a problem. I have it on hot all the way, so now it's going to blow hot. I wonder if it had something to do with it being on cold, so that it's like opposite then. That kind of sucks. Because, let's see, did it get hotter? Because as far as I know, the way the heater valve works is only if you have AC. And we have AC, but I was hoping it would work when you put it on cold, you know? So, now that it's on hot, it seemed to have shut off. It's almost like I had more heat when it was on cold. That's interesting. Now some of this heat may be bleeding off because, you know, through the venting system, because the other one is the vent, and it may not be pulled in the right direction, like I said. Let me just see something here. If I had a pull right now, where's the cable? The cable appears to be pulled out, so that means this guy would have to be pulled in. And I gotta try to move it. I was moving this son of a bitch so easy before when I moved it up. But I think it has something to do. Oh shit! It's still filming. All right. I think it has something to do with when it's all the way one way, which it would never get like that if it was in the thing. It's a little hard to move, so I gotta actually yeah. So that should be shutting it off technically. So now I'm curious. And then if I put this on the off position, which it is, and I blow this, that's hilarious. I don't think it's really like pumping out the heat that I wanted. Oh, I can't even run the gas. It might do better with the, I mean, there's some heat, and it was definitely blowing because the smoke was going in, but the smoke burned off. I'm pretty sure there's a water leak on the windshield, or somewhere here, or just in general, when I had the hoses off, maybe water got in there. You know, I don't see how this does it, but there's a seal here. It could be something along those lines. It could be this. All these hoses were you know, fucked up. So maybe they would, you know, rainwater was just pouring in here. So it's hard to say. This thing here is not the best. What's crazy, when I put 12 volts on this motor, it was like crazy, but like 6 volts, you know, when the engine was running, it'd be like 7 volts. So you got to think, if it's 6 volts to 7 volts, it may be like 20% faster. Let me just shut off the engine for a second. Okay, yeah, you hear it. You hear it running for sure. And there's definitely a low and a high. The only other thing you can do is hook up another fucking switch to make it direct 12 volts, or maybe knock it down from there and make it like maybe 9 or 10 volts, so it's not as fast. But I'm curious. I hope that it technically, if there's vacuum now, yeah, there's vacuum on this, so having vacuum on should shut this off, unless I'm wrong and it's the other way around. I meant to fucking blow into this because that was one of the things I was pondering in my head, and I forgot to do it because I was curious if I could just blow right into it, you know? I feel like it's getting heat. It's not like a ton of heat, to be honest. Then again, I have this door. Oh, it's all blowing out this fucking door that I opened. Okay. So, and we probably have some leakage around here. Like I said, I wish it was a little faster. But I feel heat, and I'm glad it's not smoking anymore, because I was like, oh no, I was seeing all this. You can see it's still like cloudy on the windshield here, and that is from rainwater getting into that heater box. And I'm not 100% thinking that it's the windshield or something, but maybe it's leaking from the inside here. Maybe it's just over a period of time. Like I said, those other hoses were ripped, so maybe water was getting in one way or the other. So that's all a possibility. And now that it's finally run, I put the heat on. But there is some heat, you know. It's not like cold by any means. Just not really. It's on the frost technically, so that's why. That's another thing. And like, let's see if I go like this. Okay, so now that's officially on heat. I don't know how it affects the other one. Maybe I was wrong with the cable of how it works. I'm just not feeling it now. Oh, now it feels like cold. Okay, so that means the vacuum line does indeed make it cold. So now I got to find some kind of vacuum switch that I can maybe apply this backwards. So naturally it's open, and when you put vacuum to it is when it shuts it off. So we want to put vacuum to this when, so either I got to put another fucking heater valve in line, which kind of fucking ruins everything. The whole point of doing this all, I was like, wow, this is really good. This is everything works. So at least what's really cool is that everything is working like it should as far as inside there. So, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm getting heat now. Oh yeah, I'm getting heat. Okay, so it has to be on heat here, and then of course the vacuum can't have vacuum. It's supposed to only have vacuum when you put it on defroster, but apparently the original heater valve is maybe what we need, or I got to make it so that some kind of vacuum switch that maybe will switch the vacuum to some other way, like the opposite, kind of like how a relay works, but oh boy, always something. But it's kind of a small price to pay, but I might be able to do some where I have the vacuum switch under the hood here, you know, AC heat, you know, additional AC and heat, you know, we're going to put it right up against here or something like that, and then it just switches the vacuum when you do all this stuff, you know. It's definitely heat. It's not leaking antifreeze. It feels right, and it didn't smell. And oh yeah, we went through daylight savings, so it's what, 4:54. So this thing has been holding for weeks. So, and I don't know if I really said it. Yeah, it's at 3:55. So it's an hour off. So that's all good stuff. And I'm checking out now. Right? 10, 11. Should be there, right? 11 is 5 minutes, right? 5, 10, 50, yeah. 4:55. Very nice. So, all good things. I'm curious now. I have this on off, so when I blow this, the heat that's down here, it'll kind of suck it and bring it through here usually, and because it blows so hard, it may take away from the fact. But, you know, just to get the air circulating, bring the air from, you know, it should grab the air from there and pull it through. It'd be nice if it was coming out harder. It's some warm air coming out here, so it depends. It depends what you want to do. If you leave this on off, you turn this on, and you're in good shape. I'm very happy. There's a lot of good things here. Just that oil pressure is the worst thing about this whole thing. And I would hate to have to drop the oil pan, but the good news is, like, you don't... I guess the Y pipe would have to be removed, which kind of sucks, but I think it's all doable if you had to do it. But I'm not hearing a tick or anything like that. Like, I heard a slight tick before, and I think that's just the way I adjusted the rock rooms that kind of break into where they are now. And I put all those rocker arms and bush rods in different places because it really doesn't matter with Chevy, but you know, there's a little bit of difference. But I'm not hearing any tick, but it's running really good. But running very smooth, very nice. I'm pretty happy overall. So this has been a very long 1 minute or 1 stage video, so I'm very happy. So I'm going to shut this one off and take it to the next step. So I let it shut off for about an hour, and when I restart it, it's down here, and the oil pressure is just fine. So it's really when it gets closer to normal operating temperature, I guess it drops. But like I said, it could have been a number of factors. I'll know more as time goes on. But it really doesn't seem like an overt problem. So we'll see. I'm running it for about 10 minutes again. It basically lives right around here. It gets close to 180, but it seems so crazy. It's at 20 pounds now, which is a little under 20, which is it's really not terrible. Hard to believe that an extra 20 degrees is going to make it drop down to 8 pounds or so, but I've seen worse, like I said. But it really runs good, so I'm not terribly worried. It's been another 5 to 7 minutes, and it's getting close to normal operating temperature. It's actually been staying. In this weather, it's not going to really go, but it has dropped. That's about 10 pounds. That's all you need. So we'll see. Just wanted to keep you notified of potential problems.